It's 6:45 on the 12th of June 2025. Off the coast of Fujian in the Taiwan Strait, the USS Gerald R.W.S. Ford Carrier Strike Group suddenly detects multiple unknown tracks racing in from the west. Alarms blare across the ship. Sailors sprint to battle stations, strapping on helmets and locking down hatches. Outside, faint flashes rise on the horizon. Long-range weapons already inbound from Chinese coastal sites. Within seconds, F-35C fighters launch. Radar scopes bloom with red icons, and layered defenses wake. SM-6, ESSM, RAM, Phalanx. On the flight deck, the E-2D radar spins. A growler taxis, jammers warming up. Deck crews gesture through spray and jet blast as tie-downs snap free. In the combat center, voices stay calm and clipped. General quarters battle stations. The carrier turns into the wind, steel deck shuddering as engines roar. Somewhere, a silent countdown starts intercept time. Seconds draining away. The commander plots what to shoot first and what to hold back. If the math is wrong, the next flash won't be on the horizon. It will be here, white, blinding, and final. The Taiwan Strait is one of the most dangerous flashpoints on Earth. Every day, commercial ships move through these narrow lanes: oil, electronics, food, the lifelines of modern life. For the United States, keeping this passage open is not just about strategy. It's about whether stores back home stay stocked, whether allies still believe in American promises, whether the balance of power tilts toward freedom or coercion. At the center of this mission stands the Gerald R. Ford Strike Group. Its role: guard the sea lanes, deter attacks, and, if necessary, fight through them. China's military, built around anti-access and area denial, believes it can push America out. HQ-9 missile batteries line the coast. J-16 and J-11 fighters fly from hardened bases. Frigates with radars and missile tubes wait near Xiamen and Shantou. To Beijing, every U.S. carrier in the strait is a challenge to its claim. To Washington, every withdrawal is read as weakness. The clash on June 12 was never just about steel. It was about credibility, trust, and the signal each side would send to the world. Insurance rates spike when jets scramble. A closure can idle factories from Seoul to Seattle. The Ford's air wing drills for this squeeze. E-2D spotting, growlers jamming, Super Hornets ready to switch from shield to sword. Allies and rivals are watching. Now the stage is set. A carrier group on one side, coastal defenses and fighters on the other. One mistake could spark escalation far beyond the strait. And here's where I want your take. If you think America's carrier should hold the line, hit 1 inch the comments. If you think China's defenses can break through, press 9. Either way, subscribe so you don't miss the next wave of this showdown. 6:52, June 12. Radar operators aboard USS Higgins and Arleigh Burke destroyer screening the Ford call out new contacts fast, climbing, inbound. The first wave of Chinese J-16 and J-11 fighters is airborne. At the same moment, streaks rise from the mainland. HQ-9B, long-range surface-to-air missiles, not probing but striking deep. The air defense net around the strike group comes alive. The order is crisp: engage. SM-6 interceptors arc upward, leaving long white trails. Seconds later, ESSM Block 2 missiles streak off rails, smaller but faster, meant to kill anything that slips through. RAM launchers swivel, waiting for threats closing inside the shield. Each move is rehearsed but deadly serious. One miss, and steel meets fire. In the air, F-35C from the Ford fire AIM-120D missiles, their stealth and range tipping the odds. J-16 try to break through with PL-15, but American jets have the first shot advantage. Explosions bloom across the sky, white fireballs marking kills. Radio chatter is clipped. Fox 3 splash one bandit. An EA-18 Grams Growler cuts through static, pouring electronic noise into enemy radars. Chinese frigates try to guide missiles with tracking arrays, but their screens fuzz and blur. Seconds later, Super Hornets roar and low, releasing AGM-88 harm. Trails streak out, hunting radar signals. Moments later, one of the coastal radars near Xiamen goes dark, a fireball blooming where its antenna once stood. The first exchange is brutal but decisive. Nearly all HQ-9 are intercepted. Multiple Chinese fighters fall before they can fire. On board the Ford, sailors grip consoles, tracking every blip that disappears. No cheers, more red icons appear on the horizon. Then comes the counterstrike. From deep beneath the waves, hatches slide open on a Virginia-class submarine. Dozens of Tomahawks burst upward, wings deploying as they arc toward coastal targets. On the destroyers, more launch tubes ignite. In under a minute, over 90 missiles are in the air. Their targets set: radar stations, missile batteries, and supply depots across Fujian and Guangdong. The battle has only begun. The question now isn't whether the strike group survives the first salvo, it's whether China's layered defenses can withstand what's coming back at them. Explosions ripple across the horizon as the first Tomahawks hit. Radar dishes vanish in fire. Missile batteries collapse in rolling blasts. Yet China is far from finished. New signals appear more. Fighters scrambled. More missiles leaving silos hidden deeper inland. The strike group knows the opening exchange is only round one. Several drones slip past the outer screen, low and fast. ESSM intercepts some, but not all. The Ford turns several degrees into the wind, cutting its profile and tightening the angle for defense. On deck, gunners swivel phalanx turrets, barrels spinning. Every sailor understands, if this line fails, nothing stands between them and impact. Radio chatter crackles. Multiple inbound, bearing 095, range 30 miles. Another wave is coming, larger and denser. The Ford's escorts coordinate fire. Higgins locks on with SM 6 seconds. Preble layers ESSMs. Each missile buys seconds, but seconds vanish quickly. In the sky, F-35C duel, with J-16 pushing hard to disrupt the defense. Missiles crisscross, contrails twisting like claws. A single break in coverage could open a hole wide enough for a hit. Below, sailors brace as CIWS guns light up, streams of tracers tearing the sky. One drone explodes, then another, but more follow, diving in pairs. The Growlers jam furiously, trying to blind fire control radars. For a moment, the screen is chaos. Blips vanishing, new ones appearing, decoys mixed with real threats. The stress is brutal, every second stretched thin. Even a small drone can cripple systems if it strikes the right spot. One makes it close, too close. Phalanx spits a torrent of rounds, shredding it 50 yards from the hull. Debris sprays the ocean, fragments rattling the deck. The crew exhales, but only for a beat. Another wave is already forming over the mainland. This is the grind of modern war. Endless waves. Expensive missiles fired to stop cheaper ones. America's technology holds, but pressure mounts with each exchange. Allies watching see both strength and strain. Now it's your call. Should the US defense keep absorbing the storm? Press 1" the comments. Or if you think China's relentless waves will finally break through, press 9. Don't forget to subscribe so you're here when the next strike arrives. Just when the strike group steadies, the threat changes. Radar operators call out strange returns, smaller, faster contacts, skimming at wave-top level. They aren't fighters or long-range shots. They're sea-skimming cruise missiles, built to slip under radar and overwhelm defenses. The twist is clear. China has escalated. The command is immediate. Close, in weapons, stand by. Escorts track the low signatures, but reaction time shrinks from minutes to seconds. These missiles ride the Earth's curve, popping up only at the last moment. For sailors, the margin for error is razor thin. Ram launchers fire first, interceptors spiraling to kill the nearest. One detonates in spray, another keeps coming. CIWS turrets scream, tracers slicing across the waves. The roar is deafening, each burst a wall of tungsten. The ship heaves as it maneuvers tighter, turning to narrow the attack angle. On deck, F divided by A, 18 pilots strap in, ready to chase leakers. In the combat center, the tension is suffocating. Nobody blinks, the next seconds decide everything. A Growler tries to jam radars, but these missiles are semi-autonomous. They skim and weave, harder to blind, harder to kill. The Ford faces a risk it hasn't yet. Saturation at low altitude. One missile explodes in the water, the plume drenching sailors. Another erupts mid-air, shredded by CIWS fire. Yet more icons appear, salvos staggered to drain ammo and focus. It's not just about striking the carrier. It's about forcing America to show its limits. Magazines run hot. Crews reload at a sprint, no pause. Every second matters. Every shot counts. If even one missile slips past the wall of fire, the world's most advanced carrier could be crippled. The horizon is chaos. Multiple salvos close in, some sea skimming, others diving from altitude. The Ford's defenses are stretched to their limit. Every second feels like the last chance to fire. Engage! Engage! Sizz Gun's hammer bursts, lighting the night. Tracers carve the dark sky, a glowing curtain between steel and fire. One missile shatters mid-air. Another detonates in the sea, geyser rocking the deck. But more keep coming. A Ram missile intercepts a low flyer, exploding so close that fragments rain across the water. The ship rattles as sailors grip stations. A drone-sized blip sneaks through. Phalanx whirls, barrels shrieking. The target erupts just yards from the hull. Shockwave slams the carrier, but the deck holds. In the air, F-35 Sea Chase, J-16 trying to launch another volley. Dogfights, flare, missiles streak, radios crackle. Splash one bandit. Two more inbound. Launches and counter-launches blur, each a coin toss between survival and disaster. On the Ford, magazines empty and reload in frantic cycles. Sailors run, sweat stinging eyes, adrenaline masking exhaustion. The smell of cordite hangs heavy, yet the wall holds barely. Then comes the final push. A swarm of low-level missiles races in together, timed to overwhelm defenses. Higgins fires SM-6. Preble fires ESSM. The Ford unleashes its last Ram salvo. Guns thunder until barrels glow. One by one, targets vanish. But one keeps coming straight, fast, lethal. The combat center goes silent. Phalanx fires its last burst. Sparks streak, shells rip the night. Impact seems certain until the missile erupts in a fireball, torn apart 50 yards short. Spray drenches the deck. Sailors cheer, some collapsing in relief. The last wave is gone. The horizon clears. Damage control teams stand by below decks, hoses staged and patch kits ready. And E2D calls picture clean. Growlers throttle back, saving jammers for the next round. On the bridge, white-knuckled hands finally ease off the rails. For now, the Ford stands. America proved it can hold under extreme pressure. China showed it can adapt, forcing costly defenses again and again. Now it's your call. If you think America's stand means dominance will last, press 1 inch the comments. If you think China's relentless tactics will tip the balance in the next round, press 9. And subscribe so you don't miss the next fight in this escalating showdown. The guns fall silent. Smoke drifts across the waves, mixed with debris from drones and missiles shattered mid-air. The USS Gerald R. Ford still floats, battered but intact. Its escorts circle close, radar sweeping, crews alert for the next surprise. Against overwhelming odds, the strike group survived. Damage control parties move fast, patching scorched bulkheads and clearing fragments from the deck. Sailors are drained, uniforms soaked in sweat and grime. Yet relief runs through the ship because the carrier remains in the fight. For the US, the message is clear. Layered defense works. SM-6, ESSM, RAM, and CIWS stopped salvo after salvo. But the cost is staggering, millions spent to kill weapons that cost far less. It proves the shield can hold. Yet it also shows how thin the margin island for China. The defeat is painful. Over 40 fighters gone, key radar sites destroyed, missile battalions wiped out. The PLA retreats its defenses 200 kilometers inland, surrendering the skies near Fujian. The failure of the anti-access shield shakes Beijing's strategy and its image abroad. The wider world takes note. Shipping lanes reopen, markets steady, and allies breathe easier knowing America can still protect the strait. But they also see the price of modern conflict. Enormous firepower spent in hours, with no guarantee the next battle won't be worse. Result: the US holds the line, but at heavy expense. China suffers a major setback, yet remains capable of adapting. Both sides understand this clash is not the end, it's only a beginning. The next exchange may bring cyber strikes, space weapons, or even larger missile swarms. So here's the question. If you think America's stand proves its dominance will last, press 1 in the comments. If you believe China's relentless tactics will shift the balance in the next round, press 9. And subscribe so you don't miss how this showdown escalates.